What's going on, y'all? So, in one of the other videos I was telling you about some issues I had with Project Gus, and one of them was the transmission mount. I used an Anchor 2625 offset mount for an older Cherokee. Iron Rock Off-Road recommended an offset older mount for their Rockwing setup. The problem with that mount is it allows way too much flex and give in the transmission. I'm getting almost 1 inch to 2 inches where the trans is coming up and hitting the floor. So I ordered a transmission mount from Stinky Fabrication, and once I get that mount in, I'll show you guys the difference in movement. I'm going to show you that mount and what Stinky Fab does. And the reason I went with Stinky Fab is not only can you mount the transmission mount as a centered mount, you can also do it as an offset mount like Iron Rock needs. So let me show you how this is set up, and we'll go from there. So here is a side view of the mount. You got the smaller end here, the taller end here. The taller end goes to the front, the smaller end goes to the rear. So we're going to go ahead and flip this on its back side, or its front side. Now looking at it from this angle, you can tell it's offset. If you 180 this, it'll center the mount. This is what I love about Stinky Fab Racing's mount. I'm going to go ahead and show you what the Anchor 2625 mount is doing under the truck, and we'll go from there. So here's the issue with it. See the give this has? Now as the transmission goes up, when you let it down, it'll go ahead and drop, and it's slamming into the trans cross member here. Like that. That's causing it to bottom out. And that's where we're getting our thumping. So I'm going to put this Stinky Fabrication mount in here, and that should fix the problem. And I apologize for the noise. I've got little hellions riding up in the back of the Jeep right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get this trans cross member out, and then I'll show you guys the new mount installed. So here's a side-by-side comparison of the two mounts. You got the Anchor 2625, you got the Stinky Fab XJ transmission mount. Now you guys can see, looking at this, compared to how it sat in the picture, it was completely compressed in the picture. And when it would hit a bump, it would allow the trans to lift up and come slamming back down onto the cross member. So, you guys can see markings on it too. I don't know what that's from. And then if you look side-by-side comparison with this, and you got a 1/2 inch bolt that goes through here. This should have a lot less give, and it shouldn't come slamming down. That being said, the only concern I have is this might vibrate a little more than a rubber mount. So I'll give you guys a long-term test after about a week of driving, which is about 700 miles for me. So I wanted you guys to see a side-by-side comparison. And then you take this apart. Here's the mounts side-by-side. It's a poly bushing. Stinky Fab keeps those in stock. So they do go bad, you can find replacement bushings easily. As you guys can tell, just pure beef alone in the mounts. This should be a really solid mount. 30-minute to an hour job. If you already had this out once, I'm at about an hour so far, and that's mainly because when I redid my exhaust, it kind of ran tight to the Iron Rock cross member. Eventually, I'm going to have my exhaust guy give me a little more clearance because it was a pain in the butt. I had to drop my exhaust. So let me get this installed, and I'll go from there. So here is the finished mount install. Went in fairly straightforward. It worked good with the Iron Rock cross member. No problems with install. Like I said, went pretty straightforward, went pretty easy. So overall, so far, test fit quality, outstanding. I'm gonna go ahead and button this video up, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Alright, y'all, so overall, that Stinky Fab transmission mount went in fairly easy, straightforward. I had a couple hiccups, and it's not due to Stinky Fab, it's due to the way I had my exhaust, the way the exhaust bolts onto the hanger, etc. I didn't know when I had my exhaust done that my old transmission mount, or my, well, new transmission mount at the time, was so flat and so destroyed. When I put the new mount in, my exhaust won't mount up to the exhaust manifold flange. So we're going to cut it, we're going to bolt it on, re-weld it. Simple fix. Once again, it's not Stinky Fab's problem, it's mine for having a custom exhaust and not realizing that my parts were so shoddy that were on it initially. So I think this will be a huge improvement. Like I said, I'll give you guys some feedback after about a week of driving it. All in all, shout out to Stinky Fabrication for getting the part out to me so quick. I think I ordered it on over the weekend, and it was to me in about 3 days. These guys, customer service is great. Product looks amazing. Like I said, I'm a little hesitant that I might have a little more vibration in stock, but I'll keep you posted on that. Thanks for watching. God bless and have a good day. I'm going to edit this part in at the tail end. Been sitting here looking at the anchor mount and was doing some thinking. I don't think my thought process was right. I don't think the transmission was coming up and hitting the trans tunnel. I think the anchor mount was allowing the transmission to lift up off of itself and then come slamming back into the cross member. You know, further investigation with a less tired mind lets me believe that this is the situation. So, with that being said, y'all have a good day, and thanks for watching.